Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Is It Called Wine Time with Pete and Felix. Very exciting today. We've got a range of wines that we have had in the past, but under a slightly different guise.
And a slightly different range.
Slightly different guise, same label.
Same but different.
Yeah.
Same but different.
I am, of course, talking about the Bloody Hill range from Timo. So many of you that have shopped with us for years and regulars will know the Bloody Hill label. It is slightly different this year. 2020 has seen a new kind of iteration of Bloody Hill. First and foremost, the wines are not being made specifically by Timo. They're being made by his son Rivar. So that's the first big change. Second big change is they're no longer using estate fruit for the Bloody Hill range. They're sourcing fruit from various different growers around the Yarra in what he is calling the villages or village, if you want to get fancy. So this year there's been 5 wines released.
Gris,
Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Syrah, Temp,
and
straight Syrah. Yeah, so five releases. We're going to look at 2 of them today: the Chardonnay and the Syrah.
Shouldn't have been so hard for us to figure that out.
I know because
the boxes.
they're right there.
They're,
yeah,
they're right in front of us.
I could have read it, but I
Yes.
didn't. Anyway, so well, I guess we'll just jump into the wines and have a look. Anything else you want to add about Timo and Rivar? You've been there. I haven't been there.
No, I went to Mac Forbes and then Timo turned up on a scooter, and
As he does.
we consumed quite a lot of alcohol. It was a very good night. I remember none of it, but
Really good night then.
yeah, I mean, it solidified Timo as one of my favourite wine
Favorite
people.
producers? Yeah, absolutely.
It's like he definitely was before I started working here, and it's really just doubled down on that.
All right, well, let's start with... so one of the exciting things I think about this range now, as I said before, with the village stuff, is they're all coming from slightly different regions around the Yarra. So the Chardonnay comes from Panton Hill. That is the Bress vineyard,
Yeah, some of the
say?
stuff is coming from the old Bress vineyards because they've sold Bress or are in the process of selling it. So they didn't use the fruit for 2020. So some of it is actually organic fruit.
Yeah, well, this would be if it's from Bress. Yeah,
yeah.
it's the Panton Hill vineyard is the Bress one.
Some of the other stuff, I guess, is sustainably farmed. I think the Gris is actually the only estate fruit
from
within the range
Mayer's
itself.
stuff,
So there is
yeah.
a little bit of estate stuff. But yeah, it's just sourced from good quality vineyards. I guess that'll change from year to year.
Yeah, I think it'll be where
Bress has a buyer, they might not have access to those fruit, but
But I also think
they'll keep it up.
it's kind of set up to be an exploration of the subregions of the Yarra, which I think is really exciting. There's not a lot of winemakers that are specifically setting out to kind of look at all those different kind of sites and the specific terroir that you get from those different regions. So
Yeah, it certainly seems with him and Mac that are doing it.
yeah, and what's his name from The Wanderer does a little bit of it as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Andrew Marks, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't label it as such, but that's
No, but he does. He sources it from different
Yeah.
sites. So, anyway, let's dive in. So this is the Shardy. It's not too cold. We learned from previous weeks where we've had them ice cold, which is ridiculous, particularly for a tasting. Delicious to drink ice cold, but not helpful when you're trying to describe flavors and things like that.
So aromatic.
Isn't it? It's really blossom, like floral blossom is the first
Yeah,
thing I get,
yeah,
like
yeah.
a kind of like apple blossom almost. There's a kind of like almost like a talky kind of lift to it. You know, that
It's
kind of
like musk-ish.
yeah,
Like
light,
not
light
musk, but something within that floral spectrum.
yeah, definitely.
But for something that's 2020, like
It's pretty expressive.
It's
yeah.
pretty expressive. There is a lot happening here.
Underneath that floral tone that Pete was talking about, there is a sort
Stone
of
fruit?
yeah. There's a stone fruit
Yeah.
kind of fleshiness. There's a kind of light citrus note as well, like a sort of lemony, light lemon zest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely zesty, fleshy, ripe
Smells
citrus,
delicious.
white peach. Yeah, floral aromatics. And not too cold.
Not too cold. We've learned. Who would have thought?
It's only taken like 18 episodes.
Is that what we're up to? God.
I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
So, on the palate, it's quite linear and focused. it's definitely got really kind of crisp acid line to it, which is lovely because that's sort of balanced by that sort of fleshy stone fruit that we pick up on the nose.
Like it's still quite round.
It is round, yeah. Like don't get me wrong, it's
but there's
not
acid
like,
that
that kind of reins it in. It's not
pulls it
broad
together.
or flabby.
No.
Yeah, it's got a really nice line and shape to it. And I get a kind of slight stoniness, like a minerality kind of thing particularly on the back.
stone washed to stone.
Yeah, stone washed, that kind of thing. Yeah, yum. It's really the blossom aromatics is what really kind of stands out to me though.
Aromatic.
Yeah.
Smells like what I've assumed Chardonnay musk should smell like when everyone talks about it, but it doesn't. So
Yum. It's really
so open though.
the word pure comes to mind. Like it's very pure and clean, and sort of there's not huge amounts of like oak masking the fruit, very little if any malolactic. You know, I'm not getting any of that kind of creaminess or very light.
Very little.
Yeah.
Like
If
more,
any of this has gone through malolactic, it'd be a tiny percentage rather than, you know, the 50 or 60% that a lot of...
Yeah, it's not creamy. It's got that like lactic sourness to it. But I think that kind of works a lot more with the stone fruit too.
Yeah. It's delicate and light, really well made. It's got lovely, as you said, lovely roundness to it. It's not pointy or sharp, but it has got that beautiful acidity that carries it through.
It's not overbearing by any means.
No.
That's like it's a
really, really lovely,
really gentle, interesting
classic.
drink.
I think classic cool climate, shardy. You know, it's and we should point out that even though River is making these wines and Bloody Hill is now his label, Timo is obviously still on site. They make them together pretty much. It's all made at Timo's winery. So I imagine that they're kind of working hand in hand in a sort of collaborative effort.
Yeah, you know what parents are like. They always get their hands involved in things.
They can't let the kids do it.
Yeah.
No, just let me
stick their finger and like, oh, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
This is how you should do it.
Exactly.
That's probably a good thing because that's how you learn.
Well,
sometimes.
Is that how you learn?
Oh, look, I'm unique. But,
Okay.
you know, we'll get there in the end.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Look, let's move on to the Syrah,
Which we loved.
So
We tasted it. It was so good.
I have to say, out of all the wines when we tasted them with Andreas, the Syrah was the one that I really kind of leant towards. So this comes from Coldstream Hills, or Coldstream region, I should say, not Coldstream Hills. That's another winery. Anyway, that's I don't know. That's just a grower in Coldstream, isn't it? This isn't the one off. I can't remember where he gets the Syrah.
I feel this might be breast, but
Is it Brass as well?
I don't want to pin it down.
Yeah, it comes from Coldstream though. That's all you really need to know. And 100% Syrah. There is
God damn.
a fair bit of bunch in this. I think this is the only one, in
It's
fact,
the only one
that he
all
does
bunch, yeah.
that he does whole bunch pressing. It's not 100% whole bunch, but it's pretty high.
30 or 50?
I wanted to say 50. I think it's
Yeah.
50% whole bunch. So you know he's really working that kind of savoury, peppery aspect with the stalks.
If there was a wine that I was going to assume Timo got involved in, it'd be this. Because
Oh my God,
his
it smells
Syrahs,
so
the last
good.
few releases have been insane.
It's so like, I think what you know the combination of cool climate, Syrah, and whole bunch pressing gives it this amazing savoury, gamey kind of red meat character.
So much spice.
Yeah, it's peppery, it's ferrous and bloody. It's so delicious. It's clearly on the savoury end of the spectrum.
I'm looking for a pepper mill to be inside of the glass. Like it's so peppery.
Oh, but it's got a beautiful kind of high note of sort of like a floral violet character over the top, really light and delicate. But also, the kind of body of it is that gamey, meaty, smoky kind of thing.
It's funny because this is the wine we have the most of, and it'll be the wine that sells out first. 'Cause
Yeah, for
we've
sure.
had it on the floor for a few days. A couple of people have tried it, and they've come back and they've bought lots.
Yeah.
Which, if I'm honest, is a smart thing to do at this price. It's like $36 in a single, so it comes down, 31-ish in a 6-pack. Money well spent.
Oh man,
I'm gonna taste it. I'm just
the palate
smell the hell out of it.
is so layered you get hit with a wash of kind of dark berry fruit up front, and this sort of primary explosion, and then in the mid palate the spice really kicks in, and it gets kind of fills out and around that mid palate with kind of peppery, stalky, stemmy bits. The flow of it is beautiful. The tannins are seamless.
Yarra Syrah is too overlooked.
Right.
It's just not getting anywhere near
I remember
the praise.
when we tried the Luke Lambert stuff.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. Like
the Wanderer, same thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yarra Valley Syrah needs to be higher on the list of people's kind of go-to wines.
Yeah.
I don't get why it's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm enjoying the Syrahs more than the Pinots.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
definitely.
That's bold. That's a bold call.
I'm known for those.
The old mic drop.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's definitely the kind of thing that I want to drink. And going back to like a lot of the other things where we've opened them, we've made comment of being like, I can tell this is closed. I know it needs time. No, it's not open yet. We've pulled corks and we're in.
Yeah,
they're ready.
Both of
We're
these
in.
wines are very, very expressive straight off the bat.
Like if this is going to open more, great, but it doesn't need to.
Yeah, it's such a complete wine, and it's, as you said, such a delight to drink. This is the sort of stuff that we personally love. It's the kind of wines that we get excited about in store. When people come and ask us for recommendations, we often lean towards this kind of thing.
This is the kind of stuff that we enjoy selling.
Yeah, because they're great. We love drinking them. They're just fantastic examples of minimal intervention Australian wine, and hats off to River because he's done a great job. As I said, there's 3 others in the range: the Gris, the Pinot Noir, and the Syrah Tempranillo blend. There's something for everyone in this, but they're all fantastic wines.
They're really good.
But there you go. So that is a little snapshot of the new Bloody Hill. New version, new year, new vintage, new everything. New iteration of Bloody Hill for the mayors, I should say.
Probably one of the first things to come out of 2020 that hasn't sucked.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a remarkably shit year,
but there are some gems.
We have Bloody Hill now.
Exactly. So, definitely drop by and store. These will be up online soon, if not already. They'll be up online. They're up online.
By the time you see this,
they'll be up online.
Yeah.
So
we'll do our job.
So jump on the website or drop by the store, pick some up and try them. As I said, in previous years when the Bloody Hill Pinot, which has been the only Bloody Hill wine made, has sold out in an absolute flash, I don't think these will be any different. So don't wait around. You'll be sorry if you miss them. So that's all. That's all we've got for this week. But thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. We will hopefully see you same time, same place next week with another thrilling episode of Is It Called Wine Time? But until then, take care, look after yourselves. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Guys.